Just use your mind. You use math when you measure width and length, solving problems using mental strength. Use number operations like multiplication. The number you'll find is like magic from your mind. Math is a part of everyday life. Just add, subtract, divide, and multiply. Can you solve the problem? Did you get the answer? Just use your brain and you can do it, sir. Now, don't you rush it. Just take it slow. You must be careful. Don't you know? You use math for all things in life. When you eat ugali, you count your bites. In a parade, count the steps you take. Just listen when I rap. I'm using math. Calculate the distance when you drive your car, so you will know if you have gone far. Here's some.
Good day, learners. This is Easy Engineering. For today's topic, we're going to talk about ratio. To understand ratio, let's take a look at this example first. There are two kids, namely Ayla and Keith. Ayla has 6 candies while Keith has 3 candies. Therefore, the ratio of candies Ayla and Keith have is written as 6:3. This can be read as 6:3. We can also write it as 6 divided by 3. So in this example, we are just basically comparing the candies Ayla and Keith have. Therefore, we can conclude that we use ratio to make comparison between two things. Basically, ratio indicates how many times one number contains another. Let's have another example to further understand this topic. The ratio of flour to milk is 3:2. But how about we make a lot of cake? What will be the ratio of flour and milk? In order to make a lot of cakes, we might need 4 times the quantity. So we need to multiply the numbers by 4. So the ratio will become 12:8. So the ratio of flour to milk becomes 12:8. This ratio is just the same as 3:2. Therefore, the taste of the cake with ratio 3:2 is just the same taste as the cake with the ratio 12:8. There are also different types of ratio, the part-to-part ratio and the part-to-whole ratio. To understand the different types of ratio, let's take a look at this example. There are 10 children at the park. 4 are girls and 6 are boys. So the ratio of girls to boys is 4:6, and the ratio of boys to girls is 6:4. These ratios are example of a part-to-part ratio. Now we already know the part-to-part ratio. Let's now proceed to part-to-whole ratio. If the problem is asking for the ratio of the girl to all the kids in the park, the ratio will be 4:10 because there are 10 kids in the park and 4 of them are girls. Similarly, the ratio of boys to all the kids in the park is 6:10 since there are 6 boys out of 10 kids. So these ratios are an example of part-to-whole ratio.
Hello, young scholar. Welcome to another exciting topic on mathematics. Today, I'm going to be treating with you ratios, a very interesting topic. Please, I want you to get your writing material set as we continue this teaching. Please, the first thing that is always important when you meet a new topic is the definition. Please, I hope by now you have your writing materials because I'm going to make this topic very simple, explicit, to the point. And I'm going to be treating all work problem thoroughly. Please, I want you to write down. Now, ratio in mathematics is the proportion at which 2 or more given variables are compared. Okay, ratio in mathematics is the proportion at which 2 or more given variables are being compared. Now, this is a definition, and you know in mathematics we always want to bring it to reality by using numbers. Now, let's say, for example, please, I want you to follow me carefully. For example, the height of Sandra and Tom is 1 to 2. The height of Sandra and Tom is 1 to 2. That is the ratio of Sandra and Tom is 1 to 2. Now, how do we write this ratio, or how do we write the height of Sandra and Tom in form of ratio. Now I can write Sandra ratio Tom. Now I want you to know that to represent ratio you will use the column. So that's why I'm using Sandra column Tom. That is Sandra ratio Tom. Therefore, Sandra is 1 while Tom is 2 respectively. Okay, now the ratio of Sandra to Tom is 1:2. I can also write it in fraction form, which is 1/2. Now I want you to take into cognizance that when you are writing ratios, you must write the ratio respectively according to how the variables are given. I'll give further examples here. Here's my worked example. Please, I want you to write down these questions and make your notes comprehensively. He said in a class there are 15 girls and 25 boys. What is the ratio of the number of girls to the number of boys? Remember I told you that you have to write your ratio respectively. Now, the ratio that is being given to us is the ratio of number of girls to the number of boys. Now, respectively, my ratio will be girls ratio boys and not boys ratio girls. You know why? That is because the boys were not given before the girls. The girls were given before the boys. So, my ratio becomes girls ratio boys. If you write boys ratio girls, you're going to have a wrong answer. Remember I said you have to write your ratio respectively or according to how it is given in the question. Now the number of girls here is 15, while the number of boys is 25. So it becomes 15:25. Remember in mathematics we don't leave our answer in a big form. We have to simplify it or reduce it to the lowest form. Now to reduce 15 and 25, the common factor here is 5. So 5 can divide 15 and 5 can divide 25. 5 divided 15 is 3. 5 divided 25 is 5. So our final answer is 3:5. Therefore, the ratio of girls to boys is 3:5. Remember the question says the number of girls are 15, the number of boys is 25. So I'm going to be using this number to solve another question, another sub question. This question is a continuation of the question we treated previously. Now B says what is the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls? Now they are bringing boys before the girls, so our ratio respectively become boys ratio girls. Remember the number of boys is 25 and the number of girls is 15. So it becomes 25:15. So also the common factor here is 5. 5 divided 25 give us 5. 5 divided 15 give us 3. So we have our final answer at 5:3 as the ratio of boys to girls. Now I'm going to treat another sub question. This sub question says, what is the ratio of the total number of girls to the total number of pupils? What is the ratio of the number of girls to the total number of pupils? Remember that the number of girls was 15, while the total number 15 plus 25 give us 40. So if I'm going to write my ratio now, my ratio becomes girls ratio total numbers of pupils. Are you seeing the way I'm writing my ratio? Girls equals girls ratio total number of pupils. Now my number of girls is 15, while the total number of pupils, 15 plus the number of boys, which is 25, 15 plus 25 equals 40. Now I can't leave this ratio in this big form, so I'm going to simplify it to the lowest form, and the highest common factor of 15 and 40 is 5. 5 divided 15 give us 3. 5 divided 40 give us 8. So the ratio is 3:8. I trust you are getting me and you're following with this lesson. I still have other examples to give to you. Please, I want you to write and do justice to my teaching by going over this lesson all over again. Now the question before you says Mona and Idahosa share 360 oranges in the ratio of 4:2. How many oranges has Mona and Idahosa? Now take note of the first name. The first name is Mona followed by Idahosa. So ratio become Mona ratio Idahosa. And the ratio is 4:2. In this kind of question, to get how many oranges were shared between them, the first thing you do is to add up your ratio. The ratio is 4 and 2. When you add up the ratio, it becomes 4 plus 2 is 6. And the next parameter you have to take note of is the total number of oranges, which is 360. So we move on. Therefore, Mona orange become equals to the ratio of Mona. What is the ratio of Mona? Is 4. Ratio of Mona over the total number, the total ratio, which is 6, times the total oranges that was shared. And the total oranges was 360. Now we have to cancel out. 6 can divide 360. Remember I told you when you have two fractions separated by a multiplication sign, you have to divide up and down if there is a common factor that can divide them. The common factor of 6 and 360 is 6. So 6 cancel 6 give you 1. 6 divided 360 give us 60. Now we have two numerators, 4 and 60. So 4 times 60 give us 240 oranges. So Mona is going to have 240 oranges. While Idahosa is going to have the remaining oranges, which is 360 minus 240 give us 80. So Idahosa is going to have the remaining oranges, which is 80 oranges. Now I'm still going to make it very explicit by showing you another question that may arise when you are treating ratio. This question is when you are being given a question that involves fractions and you are told to convert them to ratio. For example, a rectangular frame measures 1/2 meter by 3/4 meters. It says find the ratio of the width to the length. So width ratio length respectively, and the ratio is 1/2 ratio 3/4. Now this is not a ratio because we have in a fraction. We have to convert this fraction to whole numbers. Now to do this, when you have fractions and you want to convert them to whole number in forms of ratio, what you do is to find the denominators of this fraction. The denominators are 2 and 4. Then you look for the lowest common multiples of these denominators. So the LCM of this denominator, which is the LCM of 2 and 4, is equals to 4. Okay, the LCM of 2 and 4 is 4. So you multiply each of these fractions by the LCM. So it becomes 1/2 times your LCM, which we got. LCM of 2 and 4 is 4. So times 4. Ratio 3:4 times LCM of 2 and 4 give us 4 also. Now you cancel out. 2 cancel 2, because 2 is the common denominator, the common factor of 2 and 4. 2 cancel 2 is 1. 2 cancel 4 give you 2. Then the other part of the ratio, 4 cancel 4 give you 1. So when you multiply, 1 times 2 give us 2, 3 times 1 give us 3. So at the end of the day, our ratio is 2:3. That is, the ratio of width to length is 2:3. Now I'm not having in whole numbers. Now whatever form ratio comes, I believe I will be able to explicitly show to you how to handle any question involving ratio. Please go over my lesson, and I bet you when I come your way next time, I'm going to be coming with another fantastic topic. Bye for now.